Hi, hello everyone. How are you? Now we are going to discuss a new topic about the different types of motions. In the previous class, we have seen and we have discussed about what is motion, what is rest, how motion and rest both are relative to each other. Okay. Now we are going to learn different types of motions. Here I have written some different types of motions. Many type of motions are there. Few type of motions I have written here. Just listen and try to understand. So if you observe here, the first one is rectilinear. Rectilinear. If you observe here, you will observe line, a word line. Suppose if any object moves along a straight line, if any object is moved along a straight line, then that type of motion, when the body possesses the motion, then such type of motion is called as rectilinear motion. Okay, fine. Now, so here if you observe the curve, you observe a word curve. Suppose if any object moves along a curved path, assume that this is an object, a body is moving in a curved path, then such type of motion is called as, so this body possesses which kind of motion? So if it was moving in the curved path, so that type of motion is called as curvilinear motion. Understand? Now coming to the next one, a rotatory motion. Here I have written a word fixed. Suppose if you observe a fan, assume that this is a fan. Okay, this fan is fixed. Here the fan is fixed to a ceiling. Okay, this is a ceiling. Now observe that the fan will rotate at a fixed axis without changing its position. Here the position will not change, but the fan will rotate at a fixed axis. Do you understand? So that type of motion is called as rotatory motion. And suppose you can take many examples. You know that the earth revolves around the sun in a fixed axis. That is also example for rotatory motion. And coming to the oscillatory motion, oscillation. For example, if you take a simple pendulum, the simple pendulum will move in its position, in the same position. Okay, so we call it as the to and fro motion also. This is the to and fro motion. To and fro. This type of motion is called oscillatory motion. The to and fro motion of a object. Here also the body is fixed and there is no change in the shape. Shape will not change and it will move after a fixed interval of time. Then such type of motion is called as oscillatory motion. An example is simple pendulum. Now coming to the periodic motion. Suppose if an object or the repetitive motion I have written here, the repetitive motion of an object repeats itself after a fixed interval of time, then that type of motion is known as periodic motion. So example you can write here, suppose you know that the heartbeat of a healthy person. So the heartbeat of a healthy person, 72 times nearly, 72 times, so healthy person heartbeat. This is also an example for periodic motion. Now coming to the next type of motion, that is uniform motion. So here I have written equal and here non-uniform I have written not equal. So what is equal? Suppose assume that this is an object, this is a bus or a car. So it was moving from here, point A, and this is point B, and this is point C. So it is traveling from here to here. Assume that the body is here now, and after that the body will come to this position, right? Okay. And assume that the distance from A to B is suppose 10 meters. And similarly from B to C is also 10 meters. Okay, so this distance is same. The distance is same, and if the body, whenever the body moves from one position to another position, it takes some time also. Is it correct or not? Yes. So let us assume that the time to reach the 10 meters, suppose it has taken 10 seconds. And here also from B to C also, let us assume that the time taken by this object to cover the distance B to C also 10 seconds. So what you observe here, so the body is covering equal distances in equal interval of time. Such type of motion is known as uniform motion. Okay. Now coming to the non-uniform motion, not equal. Suppose if you consider the same example, so here this is A and this is the position B, and this is the position C, and the distance is 10 meters, and this distance is 10 meters. Suppose if it is taking 5 seconds over here, and here is 5, here is suppose 10 seconds. What do you observe? Equal distance, unequal interval of time. Do you understand? So if any body, or if a body covers equal distance in unequal interval of time, such type of motion is known as non-uniform motion. Understand? Now let us discuss about what is distance, what is displacement, okay, what is a scalar quantity, what is a vector quantity, okay, that all we learn in motion chapter. Okay, now let us discuss about the remaining. Okay, thank you. Now let us learn about these terms. What is distance, what is displacement, what is a scalar quantity, what is a vector quantity, how to represent a vector, drawing displacement vectors. Okay, now see here, you know that the distance, suppose if I consider this is a point A and this is another point B, the from this point to this point we call it as distance. Now coming to the definition, the length of the path traveled by an object. Suppose he is a person who is traveling from A to B. So he reached from A to B, and the distance, if we measure that how much, what is the distance from A to B, and that distance is called that length. So here what you observe, the person has moved from A to B, so nothing but he has traveled, so he has covered some length. So that length is called as distance. So the length traveled by an object or by a person in a given interval of time, that is called the distance. Now suppose see here, this is assume that this is a point A, and this is another point B. Now see here, displacement. Here the person has moved from A to B, nothing but we can say that he has displaced from his position. And suppose assume that this is, we have a path. Now the person is moving from A to B in this way. If you measure, this distance may be more. So now he is searching for another distance. So he is trying that he has to go from A to B within a short period of time. Then he searched another distance from A to B, and he measured from here to here. He has covered the distance nearly 20 meters, and the time he has taken, assume that 20 minutes. And from here to here, the distance from it is 10 meters, and assume that he has covered 10 minutes. Do you understand? So the shortest path, so the shortest distance covered by an object in a specified direction. Here also he is moving in a specified direction. So specified direction. So here we mention the direction. Okay, so that is called as displacement. So what is the displacement? The shortest path. I think you have understood. So the shortest path covered by an object in a specified direction, that is called as displacement. Now coming to the scalar quantity. Scalar quantity, it is a physical quantity. Okay, so in that physical quantity, scalar quantity and vector quantity, these are two type of quantities. We have many fundamental quantities. I am not going to discuss about that fundamental quantity. Just I am going to explain you what is scalar and what is vector. So scalar quantity means, suppose if an object, suppose see here, a physical quantity which has only magnitude, but no direction. Do you understand? You remember this point, magnitude. Magnitude is nothing but it's a value, some value here. So suppose assume that this is a 10 kg magnitude, 10 kilograms of sugar. Suppose if I call any boy or any girl, suppose assume that Sagar, So I called Sagar and take this 10 kilogram of sugar, 10 kilogram of sugar, take this 10 kilogram of sugar and go to my home and keep it in my home. What do you understand? I am giving 10 kg. 10 kg is the magnitude, and I am saying that go to my home and keep that sugar in at my home. So what you understand here? I said to go to my home, but I did not say the direction. Do you understand? Are you getting? Okay. So a physical quantity which has only magnitude. Magnitude is there. 10 kg of sugar is a magnitude, but I have not said any direction that how to go. So that is called a physical scalar quantity. Okay, next coming to the vector quantity. So here a physical quantity which has magnitude and direction. Suppose if I call the same person Sagar, take this 10 kg of sugar, okay, go straight, take left, okay, again go straight, there you will get a house, go inside and keep that sugar at that home or in my home. So what you understand here? So 10 kg is the magnitude, 10 kg of sugar I am giving to Sagar, and I am saying the direction also. Are you getting? So that is called a vector quantity. So here direction. Now you observe how we represent a vector. So vector is represented with an arrow. This point is called as tail and this is called head. Okay, and this is the length, and from here to here, length. So we represent the vector like that, like with an arrow. Okay. Now coming to the drawing displacement vector. How we will draw a displacement vector? So I will explain here. Okay, suppose assume that a person is at A, he has travelled to B, assume that these are 10 meters, and again this is a C, 10 meters. Now this is the path which he has travelled. If I ask, draw the displacement means the shortest path, you know that. So shortest path from here to there. So how you will draw? Directly you will join. So this is the displacement vector. Suppose if the road is not a straight path, suppose if it has some zigzag way, that somewhat curves like this. Suppose this is like this. So here the person is travelled from A and he has to go to the point B. So then how he will go? So he has to go in this direction. So yes or no? It takes more time and it covers more distance also. So what I will do? I will draw a displacement vector. I will make a road, a path which covers very less distance and which takes very less time. Understand? Okay. So then what I will do? I will join these two, and if he goes in this direction, distance decreases, time also it reduces. Do you understand? Time also he considered less time to reach that point. Okay.